Welcome everyone to another random insecure live stream, a little bit earlier because I have an appointment soon. So let's quickly get to it. 2019 malware that spits out cash at your local ATM, cash self-service there. Once upon a time ATMs run OS2, nowadays probably obviously Windows or so. And also on the other hand, if they would still run IBM OS2, then obviously in the meantime OS2 also being as insecure without security updates for a decade or two. So yeah, actually discovered here, maybe even with some German, not the right adjustment. Thought I clicked on a, can't make this up. Anyway, from a German public TV station here, but there you see, instead of actually the link, no idea where I clicked there, but I didn't wanted to bore you here with some German details. So here's maybe one of the more primary sources, and jackpotting 5 and so on. You can read the details, but also the US is quite popular. Sources see also here something with the USB port. So USB, what was it? Physically, so hackers typically install a malware on the ATM by physically opening a panel on the machine to reveal a USB port. Yeah, amazing stuff. And yeah, also maybe don't run Windows on your ATM and maybe don't have a USB port panel there somewhere. In more secure news, we had this here on our other channel with this not so amazing Apple sandboxing. And here's some application of sandboxing I would actually agree is usable, like sandboxing your web stuff. And there you see there's a difference between sandboxing stuff where you constantly access stuff out in the wild, like web and PDF viewers and browsers. But I would argue, but this is certainly some discussion for a longer live stream, if we maybe continue designing some how should an OS designed nowadays. Also, yes, security and stuff, I would argue start with the secure microkernel stuff and so on. I'm not really 100% convinced that sandboxing each and every application is the right thing to do, but this is certainly for another video. So since a year or so they launched site isolation in Chrome, which was for secure desktop browsers against the risk of side channel attacks of Spectre. Also you see this hardware stuff from Intel and so on, Spectre Meltdown. Certainly implications for browsers, although I would think they would need to burn quite some CPU cycles to peel some bits out of some other process, but maybe that's something to investigate another day and video. But now they also bring this to Android, so Chrome 77 has brought site isolation to the benefits of Android users, like site isolation desktop, leverages OS processes to make it harder to attackers to steal data from other websites, in particular offers more effective defense against Spectre like CPU vulnerabilities, and so on and so forth. In similar news, totally secure Android stuff, not Samsung of all companies. Anyone's thumbprint can unlock your Galaxy S10 phone. Yeah, seriously, what the heck? And so you would think quality insurance, you would think the company spots this themselves, but no, a couple in UK or something, as far as I remember, has a British woman whose husband was able to unlock her phone with this thumbprint when it was stored in a cheap case. And apparently, yeah, Samsung describes the fingerprint authentication system as revolutionary. So yeah, amazing, revolutionary. So air gaps, the scanner sends ultrasound to detect 3D ridges on fingerprints in order to recognize users. And yeah, this is also actually, but I still need to probably make a longer video about this Android experience stuff. Actually, so mine is probably not affected because I have the cheapskate S10e for the form factor, because I don't really want to have a larger phone here like this. Anyway, so that has the fingerprint reader here at the side, it's the power button, and I guess it's not affected, although not the greatest fan. I mostly only, so in previous times I've never set this up on the Apple side of things, because now also fun thing, because now I barely use my iPhone anymore, only for a little bit of email, all the other primary stuff on the new shiny Samsung. And two things are super annoying. So one thing is, if you don't use the iPhone the whole day, then it constantly doesn't unlock with the fingerprint. So I'll have it on my desk for 4 or 5 hours because concentrating on work. And then I want to unlock it now that I only set up for the YouTube stuff here, not to type my passcode on camera and such. And then it usually tells me Touch ID stuff not available, please enter your PIN or something of that sort. I have the impression if you don't use this fingerprint for 2 hours or something, then you anyway need to type in your passcode for double security reasons. So not the most amazing experience. And similar, so this should not be affected by each and everyone's thumb can unlock this. But this is super annoying. I constantly unlock it because each time I take it out of my jeans, I basically touch this. So I'm often not even sure if it was unlocked in my pocket or not. So just a little bit, yeah. I've never used this until recently, and now I use it, and somehow I constantly unlock my phone. That is super annoying. Also, actually, often I take it out just to check the time or if there's some notification, and then taking it out of the jeans, it's already unlocked. And that is super annoying when I then want to see the time, and see actually the time unlocked. Yeah, very tiny, but yeah, it's often not even what I want for a quick check. Then I unlock it and I'm wherever I left in like YouTube statistics or so, and then it's like, yeah, where are my notifications? And yeah, so somehow for me, for the most part, 80% of the time less amazing, and 20% of the time, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, this side button probably not affected by this, but long story short, I would actually expect those companies to do the research and testing themselves and not rely on random users to find this. This is the same, I think Xbox password allowed like 20 spaces. Some child found that some years ago. So much to amazing security by mega corporations. I think they say this is affected by the case. So apparently some £2.70 Gale screen protector, and that is apparently scattering or whatever the ultrasonic there enough. Samsung says they software update this, but I'm not really sure if the signal is just too distorted, if they can really software patch it or not, but whatever. In more amazing news, AMD slip up reveals the Ryzen 7 3750X CPU with 105 watt thermal design power. So I think this is exactly the same as the 3950. I think that we are waiting for. All the numbers are starting to lose overview. So I think this is 16 threads, right? And maybe, yeah, so 60. So for both, so 780, wait a second, 7 followed, need great detail, close power, what, 16, both are, what is this even now, 16, 8 core 16 threads, which contain something, where is even now 37, actually now I lost overview what precisely this should be. The extra TDP headroom of this would give it more scope to choose clock speeds that offers 3.9. Okay, so this is only apparently higher. Anyway, so we are still waiting for the 3950X, hopefully November. And also, not really sure, so I've not personally seen those slices, but in other German news here, they have apparently got here some more. I've probably Googled this, but didn't find too much more. So apparently Ryzen 9 for notebooks. So this is, I think, already a Ryzen Mobile 4000. Sorry, recurring theme here that the mobile parts are half a generation behind. So right now they are on Zen Plus. So yeah, Ryzen Mobile 4000. Also hydration, and among other things, to no one's surprise, they work on the next generation. So this would be Zen 2, and also new sockets apparently. So FP6 there for that sockets, and or at least soldered, and 15 watts, 35 to 45 combi with graphic, APU with 6 cores possible, and 7 nanometer fabrication, and so on. And yeah, Threadripper 3000 with 32 cores, but yeah, eventually they need to deliver it. Also in other news, we had this, AMD is shipping massive quantities for their server grade CPUs, and I probably speculated in previous news that certainly this high-end SKUs like the 3950X are most likely delayed because of all the Amazon and whatnot server bulk orders. In similar news, last but not least, not really sure if this is fake news or real. Allegedly, the Paris Zoo unveils Blob, an organism with no brain but 720 sexes. I actually first thought it's a joke when it scrolled by on Slashdot or something, but as this is on Reuters here, a little bit curious, and the Paris Zoo allegedly is now showcasting a mysterious new organism. Well, new, apparently it is around for a million of years, so I don't know why they write new, but so if you're interested in curious stuff and loading app. The newest exhibit in the zoological park, which goes to display in public on Saturday, has no mouth, no stomach, no eyes, yet it can detect food and digest it. Apparently, allegedly, 720 sexes, so slightly wondering how they make this up without legs, wings, and whatsoever. Heals itself in 2 minutes if cut in half. And yeah, sounds a little bit like a Star Trek episode, but if you're up to that kind of stuff, then you can see this amazing creature here allegedly in the zoo, if this is not fake news and real. Sometimes it's hard nowadays to actually differentiate between the two. Last but not least, Qatar, now so hot that it starts to air condition the outdoors, which is certainly hilarious. And if you understand a little bit of physics, then yeah, certainly that is not annoying. If you were wondering how we on Friday for Future destroy our planet for real, then certainly for air conditioning the outdoors. Temperatures in Qatar, one of the hottest places on Earth, have risen so much that authorities have installed air conditioning in open air, including in streets and outdoor markets. The country, where summer temperatures now reach up to 46 centigrades Celsius, has already started air conditioning its football stadium in preparation for November's World Cup. It's self-delayed because of extreme heat. Giant coolers have also installed among pavements and even in outdoor shopping malls, so a cool breeze allows life to go on as it has before. Yeah, certainly that is not amazing, totally waste of energy, and as more as we waste of this, then certainly we heat everything even more. Of course, a little bit slightly wondering where they have the excess heat. Certainly you cannot produce cool without also producing hot. Just transferring energy state from one place to another. So slightly wondering where they bring the excess heat, especially cooling all this. I mean, yeah, local cooling and global warming around this. It's slightly hilarious. That's it for today. Some quick news before I need to leave the office. Theoretically, I need to leave soon. So, hope you learned something, and something between hacking ATMs. Certainly, by the way, don't repeat this at home. Not recommended to do some money heists there, and otherwise some more secure browsing coming somewhere next to you. Hope to see you soon for next videos to come, and yeah, till then, see you next time.